Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 3DO Experience, the 3DO Retrospective Podcast, where we talk about all things 3DO, the company, the console, and everything in between. I'm Bill, and this is Threk. How you doing, Threk?
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. How are you, Bill?
I'm good.
Can you tell I've been listening to a lot of ELP lately?
Yeah. I had my my prog playlist on Monday at work because I felt like annoying all my coworkers.
Did you blast Tarkus at loud volumes?
Not that one. I was playing Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, Howe, and like whatever.
That's such a good album.
It is. Brother of Mine. That is a fun song.
Banger.
But I love that my playlist on Spotify. It's simply just called Pretentious Prog Power Hour.
I mean, you got to have some Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Who was more pretentious than they were?
I've got pretty much all the prog from that era. Anytime I think of a song, I'll just throw it in there.
Yeah. Well, last couple days, I've been just going through their entire discography, and so I made it. I even listened to Love Beach today.
Nice.
And sure, though weirdly coming out of it, I was like, I don't think it's as bad as everybody says. It's not a good album. Like, you can tell they're just, it's the problem with me is that it sounds like they're just trying to get it done with, They're like, all I want is you. All right, get the fuck out of here. The Gambler Man, fuck out of you, right? It sounds very slapdash kind of a thing. But, but there is some unique vibes to that record, for better or for worse. But both Works records are solid. Works Volume 2, I came out liking a lot more than I had before. A real fun collection of tunes.
Yeah, I was listening to a bit of Nursery Crimes. That was the first Genesis record with the classic lineup, right?
Yes, Phil and Steve joined for that one.
It's so funny listening to that record because you can tell that there's something here, but they haven't quite got it yet.
What's weird is that record sounds live.
It does.
In a way that Trespass and even Foxtrot are not. Those have nice layers of overdubs because that's what Genesis really did well. But Nursery Crime is very bare bones, And that's always it's always been weird for that reason, because all the songs I like on the record, which honestly aren't that many, they're a lot better live. Musical Box, much better live. Return of the Giant Hogweed, kind of the same thing. Fountain of Salamassus or whatever the fuck. I like that version, but I also really like live versions as well. That's probably my favorite track on the record. Mike Rutherford's bass playing on that is really good. But a lot of the songs in the middle never did it for me. I mean, For Absent Friends is cute. Seven Stones sounds way too generic for me. Harold the Barrel is kind of trash. And Harlequin is a ball of nothing. So we're kind of left with it's a fine album. I just think in the Gabriel era, I'd rather listen to Trespass, to be honest.
Yeah, other than the Musical Box, I don't really go back to that record much.
It's got a great cover.
It does. No, if I'm really in the mood for Genesis, I'm gonna listen to Song England by the Pound. That's usually my go-to.
Me, it's Trick of the Town, Wind and Wuthering. Those are the two I go for.
Those are really good
back
too.
To back. Yeah.
If I'm going for a Phil Collins era, it's probably one of those.
Oh, for sure. Oh, Duke is fantastic as well.
Avocab, Shapes, they're all really good.
Oh yeah. There aren't many bad. There's only two Genesis albums I don't like. And that's from Genesis to Revelation and Calling All Stations.
Perfect bookends.
I know, right? But we won't talk about Genesis all day. This week is Scramble Cobra. But before that, we actually do have some news, but it's a lot of small stuff. So we'll try to clear through it. I know famous last words, but I'll try it this time. The first one is Glenn Schofield is retiring. Of course, famous for the creator of Dead Space. Also worked on the Call of Duty series when he formed Sledgehammer Games. The last game he made was Callisto Protocol, which, depending on who you ask, is a game. But he posted a video on his LinkedIn where he has a bunch of hair now and he looks really skinny. So maybe he got on the Ozempic and made a whole, potentially. Basically where he's just saying, I'm just, he said he was struggling to find funding for his next project, citing, issues across the industry and everything. And he said, I guess it's just time to retire from game development and just go back to making art, whatever that means. But like right after that, he says this thing where he says he's 100% behind AI in game development, comparing worries of the technology eliminating jobs to motion capture or Photoshop. He says, quote, I remember when motion capture was going to take jobs away. I looked at animation departments now, it could be 30 people. It always raises the bar. It is raising it now for me when I'm coming up with ideas and worlds. I wish I could predict what jobs will come out of it. I hear people going, we're going to want prompt engineers, and we probably will.
Bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, but the one thing he says down here, he's just like, AI is here, we just have to work with it. And I do think that might be an unfortunate truth that some people are just going to have to accept. I know people don't want to. I totally get it. I have a hard time with it as well, but it's going to be interesting to see where this conversation or this topic is 5 years from now.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where like there's a big difference between something that uses AI and something that's just 100% AI.
Yeah,
kind of the
big
and again,
difference. And again, there are like good uses for it. I just don't think this generative using it to make art is the
that's the big thing.
Yeah, like use it for medical research. I'm fine with that. But yeah, I hope Glenn Schofield deserves his or enjoys his retirement. Love Dead Space. Of course, I've enjoyed the Sledgehammer. Well, I played Advanced Warfare for Thrak Ops and really enjoyed it. I'm currently working on the other one, World War II, though I don't think he was there for that one. So, I like what Sledgehammer brings to the table. So he's definitely made his mark on the industry. So good for him. FromSoft finally confirmed the network test dates for the Duskbloods, which is a game that I've been curious to for a while now.
That's the Switch one, right?
Yes, that is the Switch 2 only one, where they said the network test is going to take place between August the 21st and August the 24th, during my birthday, crazy enough. And they said that you can apply for it on July 22nd, which is actually the day you're probably listening to this. So go sign up for it. I'm going to, because I'm genuinely curious to how it's going to be. They even have on the Video Games Chronicle site, excuse me. Sorry. They have like the times on here, so you can kind of gauge when you can be free for that. So I'm going to try to get in. I don't know about you, Bill.
Yeah, I've kind of just accepted I'm not really a Souls guy. So.
Can't even give one a chance. One where it's you can hang out with me. You'll be fine.
I mean, I tried Elden Ring. I thought it was a good game. I just didn't see what other people saw, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm curious to what they're going to do with this like PvE thing, because they were kind of toying with the idea in Night Rain. So this is probably them expanding upon that in its own world. So, we'll see because with like, say, Sekiro, for example, like it is a Souls game, but it has enough different things about it to stand out from the pack.
Yeah.
So, we shall see. The GameStop CEO talked again. I guess he gave up on the eBay thing.
Yeah, because he probably got like kicked into the ground enough that he finally realized, okay, maybe not this.
Well, because if you guys remember, he offered to buy eBay, and then it was like a half later, eBay's just like, nah, this doesn't make any sense.
It was literally the "I don't even think of you" meme.
Yeah, seriously.
That was basically what that was.
Because he was trying to say like, oh, if they turn it down, I'm just gonna go to every investor with the idea, and I wouldn't be surprised if he like actually did that, and maybe like some of them were just like, no, dude, don't do this. Like, just stay in your lane. I wouldn't be shocked. But in the wake of all of this Sony physical stuff, he decided to spout off. He did an interview with Bloomberg. Can't talk today. He saying Sony's all digital move is totally irrelevant. He said software, it mattered in the past. Software today makes up less than 12% of the business, and collectibles make up over half of the business. So it's totally irrelevant. He's talking about GameStop specifically. And when you actually look through their like, earnings and everything, he's actually correct. Like like selling of video games in GameStop only makes up about 18% of the business now.
Well,
Whereas
yeah,
like, Pokemon trading cards and that kind of stuff is about like 41% now.
that's why like at most GameStops are like 95% of toy store.
Yeah, yeah. So I could see why he would think that, because apparently during quarter 1 of this year, they made $143 million, which he said was the highest operating earnings in the company's history. And it's like, well, does that necessarily equal revenue or profit? Because, you got to take your expenses out of there. But, he didn't go on there. But he goes on later to claim everybody in the media wants GameStop to fail. Explain that to me. Explain to me why everybody in the mainstream media wants GameStop to fail. And
I could give many reasons why.
I mean, we've all talked shit about GameStop in the past, and for good reason. And I feel like he's not helping the cause at all. Like it doesn't help that like a store called GameStop, which when people think of like buying games, they think of going to GameStop, right? That you go in there now, and yeah, you'll have the wall of Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation games, right? But most of the time, whenever I go in there, I look through it and nothing catches my eye, and I leave.
Well, because half the games aren't even like new; they're like the fucking GameStop fake cases, and you just look at that, and I'm just like, yeah, that's unappealing to me.
Yeah, and they've expanded the retro thing to like all stores, but like the
Most
retro
stores don't have it, or half the games are fake.
Yeah, well, yeah, and like the stuff that has retro, it's usually just like, oh, here's a bunch of 360, PS3, and Wii games that nobody wants, or like the rare PS2 game that's just like, oh, what's that? Let's
retro in the sense of it's the PS3 games we had that no one wanted, and we're just claiming they're retro now.
Or just people being like, finally, I can get rid of my copies of Madden 07, and they do that. So like GameStop, it doesn't have a good reputation. I don't necessarily want it to fail because I don't want people to lose their jobs, right? But at the same time, guys like Ryan Cohen are like perfect examples of why people do not like the fucking company, and that they have not done a good job of like keeping. I mean, the business is still afloat somehow, but it's not for lack of trying to kill it. You know what I mean? So
they're probably honestly being propped up by trading cards right now.
Yeah.
That shit's ridiculous. Right
I mean, and a lot of the retro game stores I go to these days also are really getting into that as well.
I mean, it's big right now.
Yeah, but that's a market that could collapse anytime now when like Nintendo decides to stop making them or whatever. Or
Nintendo's never going to stop making
Pokemon
cards.
I know, but like
money.
Eventually people are going to get sick of it, or they're going to realize this whole thing is a scam, and they're going to stop. Eventually they will, but time will tell on that. Like, I know it's a scam and it's a bunch of bullshit when you try to bring up Yu-Gi-Oh! And everyone goes, ugh, Yu-Gi-Oh! It's worthless. I'm like, what, you don't like play the game?
I mean, to be fair, most Pokemon players have never actually played a game of Pokemon.
No, that's true. That's true. And with like Yu-Gi-Oh! They just reprint their shit all the time. So it's like,
yeah.
Like, yeah, like no Yu-Gi-Oh! Card really has. There are probably some that have actual value, but there's not that many. But it's like, that's not the fucking point.
They were valuable like 20 years ago, like that full set of Exodia, where you're like, yeah, look at me, I'm the king shit. And then it's like, yeah, you can just buy those on Amazon for like
I'm sure if you had a sealed copy of like Yu-Gi starter deck from season 1, that might actually have some value to it. But
probably, yeah.
But that is what it is. Apparently, the European Union is set to approve the Saudi PIF acquisition of Electronic Arts. This comes from Reuters, REUT, or am I saying it right? Reuters.
I think it's Reuters.
Okay, yeah. The $1 trillion public investment fund announced the deal alongside Jared Kushner's Affinity Partners. The deal values a 93.4% stake in EA's $55 billion. EA shareholders approved the acquisition in December of last year. And yeah, it looks like the European Union is I guess gonna go through with it because I guess they don't give a shit, even though it's like whatever, right? But at the very end of this little article, it says that investment spree, because the Saudis have been going nuts with they own SNK.
They own probably a small portion of a lot of companies.
Of like Nintendo and Capcom and I think even Konami, and they own Evo now. So they've like kind of killed Evo. Or they might be killing Evo because they were like, oh, we're going to do like monthly thing where we're going to do like an Evo tournament every month or whatever, or something like that. It sounded really stupid. But they are running low on cash after the EA acquisition because shocker, you spend $55 billion on the fucking Madden people and you go, oh, wait, that's all the money we had. Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens when you're spending all this money and then you're not really making any on the back end to make up for it. Like not enough.
Yeah, this is a tale as old as time. We'll see how this goes.
How could they make EA any worse?
Oh, there's a lot of ways.
I won't be surprised if when they fully acquire them, the first thing they do is like they shut down BioWare and cancel Mass Effect. Wouldn't shock me at all. I'd be sad, but it's like I feel it coming. I can feel it in me bones.
I see BioWare would be on the chopping block. Maxis, what's left of Maxis, is probably on the chopping block.
I think they'll keep Maxis because The Sims is like a continual revenue generator for EA.
True, even though they have said they have no plans to make a 5. But
yeah, well, because the game is free to play, but people still buy like the microtransactions and the expansions and all that stuff. You know, like The Sims has turned into a live service game, which in a weird way for a game like that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's also the reason though everyone kind of hates 4.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's why when like they re-released 1 and 2, everyone went nuts. Despite 2 kind of being unplayable as fuck. But
yeah, they've probably patched it by now. One would hope. Well, speaking of patches and buggy games, Bethesda showed up out of the fucking blue with this like lengthy note they published. Of course, this was after all like the Xbox stuff, right? Like we actually got news from Bethesda. Can you believe it? And pretty much all of it was around. Well, they talk about like, you know, Starfield and all that, but the main thing was they're talking about the future of Fallout. In fact, I'll just read verbatim what they say on Bethesda about this. They said, Fallout is one of our biggest priorities today. Fallout 5 remains our long-range destination, and we have multiple Fallout projects in development right now. They talk about Fallout 76 getting a new major expansion called Raven Rock, a prequel story to 3. Of course, they're like, oh, Fallout 4 has done really well. And indeed it has. They've confirmed remasters for Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. I think I've talked about Fallout 3 remaster being, you know, like kind of a rumor for a while, where from what I had heard after Virtuous did Oblivion and that did really well, that basically greenlit Fallout 3 remaster, like right after that. Like, oh, you can do this? Okay, go do that. And my guess is that's what they're working on. And I think Gertzman said it on one of his podcasts where he said he has seen footage of it. So yeah, but they've now confirmed 3 and New Vegas both getting remasters. My guess is Fallout 3. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see a trailer of that this year, because it might be further in than we think, but who knows? New Vegas is probably like, they're probably like, okay, that'll be like the next thing, but I'm not sure. They talk about Fallout Shelter. They talk about the production of the Fallout TV show season 3 underway. And then they've also said that Fallout 5 is now like in pre-production with Elder Scrolls 6 being like the main thing they're working on, obviously. And they're both being developed in Creation Engine 3. Which I guess is like, it was that the engine Starfield was in? I can't remember.
Probably.
Okay.
Or a variation of it. Which,
yeah.
I mean, I'm happy it's not Unreal, because I swear to God, everything's on Unreal lately.
Oh yeah. More and more companies are moving to Unreal. And then also they mention in here, here it is. It says, the Wasteland continues to expand as we team up once again with our longtime friends at Obsidian. We're happy to confirm they are working with us on a new Fallout project. So basically, yeah, like I guess Bethesda was like, oh shit, we have to talk about stuff. Fuck. And then they just like confirmed all of this stuff.
Was it just a written thing, or did they actually bring Todd out.
It was a full no. It was just a written like post. They did not hold Todd at gunpoint next to a microphone.
Well, they've learned that having Todd out usually doesn't end well for them. So
in some ways, yeah, but I mean, it should be like a good thing. But all this should be like a good thing, right? That like Bethesda's deciding to open their mouth and communicate things.
Yeah,
but of course, some people, I find it weird that they're upset at the whole Obsidian thing. Because I was like, I thought everybody wanted Obsidian to make another Fallout game.
Yeah, I thought people
with New Vegas being the best thing ever, right?
Yeah, I thought people wanted the series creators to work on the series.
Well, I think that comes with the whole notion that maybe like Avowed 2 got canceled, or there were some other projects at Obsidian that were being worked on, but have either been canceled or shelved to work on this new Fallout thing, potentially. Which, you know, yeah, that would be kind of shitty, where it's just like if Avowed 2 is like that close to being done, from what I've heard, it's like, yeah, just get it out there, just finish it, and then, you know, whatever, right? I mean, the remasters of 3 in New Vegas aren't surprising. Since Oblivion remaster is done so well, it doesn't surprise me that they would want to do that with those games.
Remaster 3 earlier, to be honest.
It's Bethesda, man. I feel like these remasters wouldn't have happened if they weren't under the Microsoft umbrella.
True, because they might happen, but they'd be broken because Bethesda for a while there didn't know how to make a functioning game.
Yeah, so yeah, we might. I wouldn't be shocked if we see like footage of Fallout 3 remaster this year, because I would really want to play that. As I've talked before about how Fallout 3, when it was new, was like the hot game. Everyone was talking about it, and I was so RPG averse at the time that I heard that term about this game and was like, nah, brah. And then I eventually found a cheap copy, and I was like, let me give it a try. And I played it for a bit. I wasn't sure what to think about it, but my 360 red ringed at that point, so I could not properly play it. And then I think it was like a few months ago, just out of curiosity, I downloaded it on Game Pass and played it for a little bit. And I was like, I'm such a fucking idiot. Like, I get it. I get it now. I totally get it. But hearing the remaster, I'm like, I'll just wait for that. And I'll play that. You know, it was honestly kind of the same thing with Oblivion, you know, but I liked Oblivion when I played it, but my 360 red ring, so I didn't have time to fully get into it at the time.
I was too like deep into like the Japanese RPGs at that point that I had the same thing, but I was more like averse to Western RPGs. And then I played Mass Effect and realized I was dumb.
Yeah, it's okay. It is what
I think we all have. I think we all have those moments back in the day.
Mm-hmm. So so we'll see if any fruits actually come from this Bethesda labor. So we shall see. Tangentially speaking of Microsoft, Cliff Bleszinski did an interview recently, a lengthy interview where he was just, talking about his life and everything, and brought up, Lawbreakers, if you guys remember that. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on the show, but Cliff a couple years ago wrote a book, like an autobiography. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but that book was fantastic. I highly recommend it. I love how open and honest he is about his life and his failure, his successes and his failures, especially with all the issues with his first marriage and just being a real immature guy at the time, and how he's moved on from that and seems to be in a much better place now. And he had talked about being completely done with games, but at the end of this little interview, he talked about how he kind of hopes to get back into working on them again. And he said if he did, it wouldn't be like a PvP game. It would be more of a single player thing or something, something maybe closer to what Gears was, or, something single player focused as opposed to the PvP thing. Because, famously Lawbreakers was a failure. And he's also very honest about in the book talking about why Lawbreakers didn't work, and he's like, oh yeah, it didn't work because of this, and that, so I appreciate that. So yeah, I hope Cliff can get back in, because I'd like to, because I like the Gears games, and I'd be curious to what other ideas he has. We shall see.
Yeah.
Let's see. I totally forgot. I guess I'm gonna have to do a fucking film review in the future, because I totally forgot Paramount is doing a Call of Duty movie.
Hooray.
Yeah. It's being directed by Peter Berg, and it's going to be set in the Modern Warfare universe. And it's coming out June 30th, 2028. See, I love how open the fucking film industry is about everything. They're like, yeah, working on this movie, it'll be out in like 2 years. Just hang in there, kiddo. Whereas with games, you can't say shit about anything at all. You're not allowed. But films, they don't give a fuck. I find it so crazy it took them this long to make a COD movie. You know?
Yeah. Well, for the longest time, video game movies were considered bad, like just like a bad idea.
I mean, yeah.
But now that Nintendo has released 2 Mario movies that made absurd money for what they are.
Sonic movies have done really well. The Minecraft movies done really well. I'm sure those like recent Mortal Kombat movies did pretty all right.
I'm not gonna lie, as bad as that new Street Fighter looks, I kind of want to see it because it looks so bad it's good.
And I'm sure it'll do just fine when it releases. So yeah. But like COD has always been such a big thing that's kind of like transcended gaming that I'm surprised like nobody took a shot at it back in the day, you know?
I think it literally is just like the stigma, like the video game movie stigma, because it seemed like especially around when COD was super relevant, any attempt at a video game movie always bombed hard. Like I was thinking like the Doom movie or
True. But it was always like smaller production companies jumping on it. Like no major studio was willing to go for it. And also I think at COD's peak popularity, it was controversial because of I feel like the peak of Call of Duty's popularity was No Russian. Like that was the moment everybody knew about it. Everybody was talking about it. Like that was the most relevant it ever was. And capitalizing on that with a movie at the time probably wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, there's never been a GTA movie, but it doesn't need one. That's the thing. It doesn't need one. It already is cinematic enough.
Honestly, a GTA movie would probably end up being kind of lame. I just don't think they'd be able to pull it off the same way.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I guess in July of 2028, if this movie still happens, expect a movie review on Call of Duty on Thrack Ops, because I have to at this point.
Speaking of Paramount, did you see a judge apparently has put a halt on the Paramount Warner Brothers merger?
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't read into the details though.
A bunch of states basically are fighting it. So that it's on temporary hold. I don't think it's going to do anything personally, but yeah, you never know. See.
I mean, I guess they're like the entertainment industry shouldn't be just 2 giant conglomerates.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I also don't really want. We don't need Warner Brothers in the hands of Paramount.
No, we don't.
There's like too many things I like about Warner Brothers that and the things I don't like about Paramount. I'm like,
yeah. But Warner Brothers kind of did themselves in, to be honest.
Well, they merged with Discovery. Smart. They merged with Discovery, and then they realized that was a terrible decision. And Discovery's like, we don't want this anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Whole thing is a shit show.
It also really doesn't help that Supergirl is bombing hard right now.
That doesn't. I mean, I think people are just done with superhero movies.
They are, not counting Batman and Spider-Man. Those don't count.
Those 2 will be fine. But outside of that, I think people are done. Like everyone wants to go see Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. That's what everyone wants to go see. But of course, he only filmed it in the fucking theaters, like the dozen theaters that are like for the 70 millimeter IMAX. You know, and then I'm hearing the projectors are overheating because they're not meant for a 3-hour movie.
Jesus Christ.
But to be fair, Nolan is usually smart when he uses the IMAX stuff. He always films it in a way that if you have to watch it in the standard aspect ratio, you're fine. So,
yeah. I did love that. I saw a message about the Odyssey where people were like, no spoilers. I'm like, buddy, if you haven't read a 300-year-old book or whatever it is, like,
let's be honest, most of us have not read the Odyssey or the Iliad for that matter. We know of them.
I've seen enough parodies of it over time to know the basic
Yeah,
story.
like I know the story. Yeah, I don't know all the details, but I know the story.
I just thought that was funny. No spoilers
Yeah.
for the Odyssey. I'm like, buddy, buddy.
No spoilers for the Bible. Don't spoil me.
Yeah.
So yeah. But speaking of shit shows, Ubisoft,
Oh boy.
they made a post on their Ghost Recon account saying it's been a while, Ghosts. We know some of you saw some updates. We'll have more to say on the 6th of August when we celebrate the 25th anniversary of Ghost Recon. God damn, I'm feeling old as shit. And what they're talking about is it may relate to people seeing that they might be releasing a definitive edition of Ghost Recon Wildlands for PS5 and Series X, which says that they're going to have a new mission in there called Last Rites. They'll probably give you like a bunch of the DLC and the season pass and all that stuff. But honestly, the best thing about the game is it would get bumped to 4K and 60. I've played a bit of Wildlands. It's a fantastic game. I describe it as Breath of the Wild with guns, because it's that kind of big open world game. But it's like, I hate to be a Dre on this, but like, it really needs 60 because it would just help. Especially because I'm playing it on a next generation console, and they never bothered to do an update on it at all. So I hope it's just an update to the existing version. Like if you already have it, here's the free update, go for it. I hope that's what it is. But knowing Ubisoft, they're gonna make us pay $30 for this goddamn thing. But since I subscribe to Game Pass and I have the Ubisoft Plus, I hope they just kind of sneak it in there. And I can just not worry about it if it costs. Otherwise, I'll just grab it. I don't know if you've played Wildlands, but it's very good.
Probably not. But I was never a huge Ubisoft guy.
It is a fun game. You know, it's not like a linear, shooter or whatever. It's a big open world where you can go and do all kinds of stuff and really get yourself immersed in. So it is worth your time. So yeah, August 6th, we shall see. And it might relate to some new, like maybe the next Ghost Recon game, which I've heard they've been working on. So we shall see. So let's see. Yeah, there was a Nintendo thing that happened, which I thought was kind of funny. So two people decided to. So if you remember when Nintendo increased the price of the Switch and everything, and they were like claiming tariffs and everything. And then Nintendo was part of like those companies that sued the government for refunds over the tariffs and everything, right? And then everyone's like, oh, they're not going to give us refunds on this shit, right? Two people decided to sue Nintendo over this, claiming that any money it recouped from tariff refunds should go to customers. They're right. By the way, they are in the right. But like,
sure that went well.
Well, here it says Nintendo has asked the court to dismiss the class action lawsuit, saying players, quote, received exactly what they bargained and paid for when they bought a Switch after the price increase. So basically, this is just Nintendo being like, eat shit, motherfuckers.
So yeah, typical Big N is basically looking at people like...
Yeah, but I want to keep reading it just because I think it's funny how they word some of this stuff. Their lawyers argued that the suggestion it was being unfair by not retroactively making the Switch cheaper again and refunding players after the tariff refund is, quote, not how commercial transactions work because the customer agreed on the price when they bought the hardware. Nintendo or one of its retailers set a price for each product, and consumers decided whether that price was worth paying. Those who bought Nintendo's products received exactly what they bargained and paid for. Bargained, I think, is a funny word. A console, game, and / or accessory at a price to which both parties agreed. The money plaintiffs paid represents the purchase price of the goods they wanted and received. Plaintiffs are not entitled to a rebate simply because of intervening legal developments related to tariffs. Nintendo's filing also claims that a full refund of the difference wasn't as simple as it seems because there were a number of factors that went into raising its prices, including costs of money, labor, shipping, and tariffs. It claims that Switch's price wasn't just increased by the amount of tariffs paid, but that Nintendo insisted imposed modest and selective price adjustments, and it chose to bear the cost of tariffs on some of its most popular products of 2025. including the Switch 2. It also argues that the players who are suing Nintendo couldn't have received tangible damages as a result because they weren't forced into buying it. If a customer did not want to pay the advertised price, they were free to abstain from purchasing the product or seek out competing products.
Imagine,
This is the real Nintendo, by the way. None of this happy, happy, joy Mario stuff. It is this fucking legal speak where they're like, this is what we did. You bought it. Eat our dick.
I'm pretty sure most people at this point are aware that Nintendo is an evil company. They've just kind of accepted that Nintendo's evil, and they've just
They're a law firm.
Yeah,
they're a law firm that makes games, and once you learn that, it understand. But I mean, I'll give Nintendo the little bit of credit here, and that is when it comes to tariff price increases, they were the least shitty out of everybody.
Yeah, well, it's really funny because a lot of people haven't really come to realize that the Iwata era was not the norm. Like that was kind of the exception, and like
I don't think Iwata would have increased the price because of this.
Iwata probably would have like cut his own salary to avoid it because that's the kind of guy he was.
That, or say if he did, I could see him basically being like, hey, if you bought a Nintendo Switch before this date, you can buy a $60 game at full price. You can just claim one for free as sort of a thank you for like the ambassador thing with the 3DS.
Yeah.
I could have seen them doing that with Switch 2 or something. And it's like, oh, that would have been, then I would have grabbed Mysterious Book for free or something like that and been fine. But Are they going to do that? No. It'd be nice, but they're not going to. Nintendo doesn't have to be nice.
No, this is the company.
And I love they use the word bargained. Like we had to go up to Redmond. I think they're still in Redmond and be like, hey, can you adjust the price? Can you give me like 400 flat for this instead of the 450 or, no. I just thought that word was funny.
This is the company that releases a 20-year-old Pokemon game that they could have easily put on their Game Boy Advance app for $20 and then just tells you to deal with it. So because they know you'll buy it.
And they fucking bought it anyway.
Bought it twice because they bought both versions.
Oh yeah. And if you spoke a different language than English, you had to buy that specific language option because they couldn't be fucking bothered to implement all language packs into the one ROM. They couldn't be fucking bothered.
Well, no, because they know people will buy it. They're Pokemon fans. They don't think logically.
No, they don't. I mean, you see the prices of Pokemon trading cards, this fucking grip it has on like the entire like resale community right now. Like I don't like it. I don't get it. Like people just like you go into retro stores and people just looking through stacks of cards, hoping to get like some like. Again, I think it's just people trying to find an infinite money glitch, and they think it's with like Pokemon cards. And it's like, guys, it's not. Okay.
Oh, the funniest thing is
it's just not gonna work. Like an infinite money glitch, save your goddamn money. Don't buy Pokemon cards.
The funniest thing is when you go buy one of those like Pokemon vending machines that they have, and if you look in like the trash can next to it, there's a good chance you'll just find a bunch of cards that people didn't want for free. It's like,
yeah, and it sucks.
I mean, it's nice for the children that are like there, and it's like, hey, look, free cards.
I mean, I've given Junior a couple of free Pokemon cards because I stumbled upon them. I was like, here you go, kid. I don't care if he likes them or not. It's just like, hey, here's a thing for you. So I don't know. It's fucking bullshit, dude. It's all weird and stupid.
Yeah, this world is insane.
Ugh. Just gonna go play Sneak King or something. Anyway,
back when we made real games.
Yeah. You want to talk about something rare? Not the game itself, but the fact that the disc is in my 360. I am actually playing it, but the fact that it's like one of the only dual format games in existence. Yeah, that it works in the Xbox and the Xbox 360, no fucking problem.
I love that it's a 360 case that just says Xbox. Like there's just something fun about that.
Yeah. So anyway, shout out.
Also, I love that you can just find crates of those things on eBay.
Oh, I know. Well, because a lot of people bought them thinking they would be collectible in the future. No. And then they realized, oh yeah, nobody really wants these. And the people who do, like me, I'm like, I'll give you like $2 for it.
The people who want them are collectors who want them because haha, funny, and then they're like, yeah, I ain't paying more than $1 each for those.
Exactly. But anyway, last thing, I thought this was interesting for you, buddy. In an interview with the game business, Jagex, am I saying that right?
Oh, the RuneScape team, yeah.
Yeah, the CEO, John Bellamy, was asked about the company's claim that RuneScape is the second biggest MMO game behind World of Warcraft. He replied that his aim was to continue building RuneScape, which turned 25 years old this year. Jesus Christ. Until it eventually overtakes this says World or Warcraft. I think it meant World of Warcraft, and becomes recognized as the top MMO.
Yeah, good luck, buddy.
The quote, the dream is that we're not the number 2 biggest MMO brand in the world. We're number 1, he said. There's a big old gap between us and number 1, but if we get it right, we know we can make headway. It's lofty and ambitious, but if you're going to set lofty and ambitious goals, why not swing for the top? So that's the number 1 goal. One of the first steps they made towards this goal was scrapping its Treasure Hunter microtransaction last year.
That was nice.
The perk let players boost their XP and gold and made a lot of money for Jagex, but was unpopular among players. Bellamy said the game's revenue is down quite a large chunk as a result of the decision, but stressed that it was part of the plan and said member numbers have stabilized instead of dropping for the first time in 4 years. And then he talks about setting the table for growth. We need to put something on the table to bring people in. Like the guys who run the studio have been here for 13 years. Done a great job on getting the game into a healthy position. Less daily, less FOMO, less of the rubbish. They're probably British. They said the next stage of this plan will come in October when they'll be announcing something designed to make lapsed players return. I've been told very clearly not to give anything away, but on October 3rd at RuneFest, they have a RuneFest.
Oh yeah.
They'll be announcing our equivalent of putting a feast on the table to really actively win people back, and that'll be happening much sooner than many people expect, he said.
See,
what are your thoughts, Rune Boy?
See, the funny part there is he thinks he's going to compete with World of Warcraft, but then he doesn't realize that his biggest competitor is himself, because RuneScape's biggest threat is old school RuneScape. Let's be real here. I
find it weird that like when he says RuneScape is number 2, is he talking like old school and like modern RuneScape? Like,
I have no idea
together?
What he means there, to be perfectly honest.
I'm like, Final Fantasy 14 hasn't dropped off a cliff.
No, I don't think I don't even think that's right. I think
like if he said he was number 3 behind World of Warcraft and FF14, I would have believed him. But when he said just behind World of Warcraft, I'm like, citation needed. I need to see some data.
I know
is he skewing the data?
He might be combining both games together for all we know. I know for a fact that they are the number 1 limited free MMO.
Well, is modern RuneScape free?
So modern RuneScape and old school RuneScape have a free mode. Like you can play up to a fairly sizable...
like FF14 has the free trial.
It's not a trial. You can actually there's basically a section of the world that is exclusive. Well, it's not exclusive, but it's like where free players are completely able to go. It's a fairly decent sized section. Like you can unlimitedly play there. Like your account never goes away. You never run into a limit. You can like max out your stats, the ones that you have available.
Yeah, because 14's free trial is like you can play through the base game and the first 2 expansions. They cap you at like level 60 or something like that. But they basically give you the first couple hundred hours of 1,000+ hour game, which is still fairly nice.
So like playing RuneScape for free, you get probably maybe 20% of the game, but it's like a pretty sizable chunk for an MMO. Back in the old days of being a child without money and we couldn't afford membership, we got a lot of mileage out of the free area of RuneScape.
Oh, for sure. I remember slaying spiders in those weird training caves.
Oh yeah, killing goblins, getting to Dragon Slayer, like the classics.
Sure.
I think he's a little delusional though, thinking that RuneScape. I agree, they've done great things. They got rid of all the microtransactions. They've actually, RuneScape 3, the current main game, is the healthiest it's ever been because they've got rid of all the bullshit, and it's like a game again.
Yeah, and I'm sure I find it weird that getting rid of the microtransactions was unpopular with players.
No,
I find weird.
I think you misread that. It was extremely popular with players.
Let me double check. I thought I could have read that wrong. You know me. Come on. Da, 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 da. Let's see. The perk let players boost their XP. Gold made a lot of money for Jagex, but was unpopular among players. Oh, I think what he means is the microtransactions were unpopular amongst players.
Yeah,
I think
'cause
I
it made
misinterpreted
yeah.
as him taking it away was unpopular.
No.
No, just that the treasure hunter there was unpopular. Oh, okay.
So
I misinterpreted.
The thing with the microtransactions was it basically made the game pay to win, because you could just pay to max your stats, which if you're not
at that point, why are you playing the game? I never understood that. Why, like, people will buy a video game and instead of actually playing the damn thing, will spend all kinds of money to like max themselves out and be ultra powerful. And I'm like, just why would you spend the money or the time to play? Just play the fucking game.
So
I don't understand that.
I will say in defense to some of the people who have done that, I think it depends on the kind of gamer you are. Because like if like you're a PvP person, it's cheap, it's dumb, it's lame. If you're
I agree.
If you're just someone who just wants to do quests and like it wants to basically keep to themselves on the game world, it's harmless.
I mean, yeah, it's harmless. I just play the fucking game. Like say like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, for example. Like that has that kind of stuff in there, and they tried to make the game to where it's like, oh, it takes so long to level up, but if you give us like $2, we'll give you an extra level or two. You know, I just go, fuck you, I'm just gonna play the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm sure like if somebody wants to do that, fine. But like I've never seen the point of it. I feel like you're just wasting your money when it's like spend less money on a more fun game. Because if I'm paying money to improve myself within the game, then I'm not enjoying the act of playing the game to get better.
Yeah, some people just don't have time. That was kind of the big thing. Like,
I get it.
I mean, I maxed all my stats during COVID, so that was like kind of what I did during COVID.
I wish I had more time to play games as well, but I just suck it up. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, there's a reason why it was very popular. They got rid of it. So
yeah. So, well, October 3rd, we'll see what the big RuneScape update is. What do you think? What do you think would be the big thing to get people back in?
To be honest, I have no fucking idea. I don't. The problem here is that this guy clearly, I don't even think he knows what he's talking about. I think he just kind of lucked into some shit.
Well, maybe he's just trusting the guys who are working on it, that maybe they have some big plans.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got the money, get it done. Go ahead and do it. Maybe he's letting them cook. And hey, if that is what he's doing, respect for just letting them just do their thing and just kind of leaving them be. But we'll see.
I'll wait and see. We'll see what happens when we get there. Maybe they're bringing the wilderness back, because they seem to keep they keep. Would
that be a big thing?
That used to be, so the wilderness was the big PvP area back in the day, and they keep like flip-flopping on bringing it back and get rid of it, and it's just a big constant thing.
Gotcha.
So maybe they're bringing it back, unless it is back. I haven't really paid attention. I'm not a PvP guy.
Fair enough. Right. But yeah, right. That's the news.
We did get Nintendo Music, kind of
again.
Well, it's something I thought we already had.
Bonanza. I thought we had Bonanza.
Well, apparently it was one of those limited release things where they released some of the songs, but it wasn't actually the game soundtrack.
So if you haven't played it, if you haven't beaten it in this time, fuck you.
Yeah. So there's songs there, I guess. No. Yeah.
Holy shit. The final boss is King K. Rool. Shocker.
Like,
I like K. Rool. He's cool.
See, I was just thinking of him from the fucking animated series from the 90s.
King K. Rool is just Bowser who fucks.
But Bowser has children.
So does K. Rool.
Fair. I'm sitting here going like, still trying to figure out where Bowser Jr. came from, but that's besides the point.
Well, there is one of the Donkey Kong Juniors where like, I think it's like his wife is like yelling at him or something. And it's like the opening of 2, I think, or the ending of 3 or something. And like, there's a certain dialogue box. I forget what it is exactly. I'm sure somebody will tell us, where it's like, oh, he fucks. Like it's kind of like it's proven. Like, yeah, he good for him.
I mean, so does Slippy Toad. So
I mean, the Koopa kids could be test tube babies.
Well, I think they decanonized that. I think they were like, no, they're not his kids. They're just random children.
They're his like online fanboys, like his Discord chat.
It's because the fans got weird, and Miyamoto was like, I'm tired of this. They're not related anymore. Go away.
Except Bowser Jr., but maybe Bowser Jr. is a test tube baby.
Maybe. I mean, they probably brought it back because, like, God damn it, Nintendo flip flops like nothing.
Yeah.
On shit.
I don't know. Bowser gives off the vibe that like he likes to say he's fucked when he really hasn't.
Well, if we've seen those.
That's just the vibe I get. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I get the sense King K. Rool has railed in his life. Okay.
These are the real questions.
He scrambled some cobras, if you know what I mean. Which segues us into our game today. Scramble Cobra.
What a name. Like, what a name for such a game.
Released in 1995. Apparently the 11th of August, 95 in Japan. So probably around the same time in the States.
So this was one of those, like, the 3DO was dying games, and it was like, here, have another one.
Developed by Genki.
Genki, I know them.
Yeah, when I saw their name, I was like, what do I know them for?
They made Tokyo Extreme Racer.
Yeah. They did the SimCity 2000 port to N64.
They sure did.
Yeah. And yes, the Tokyo Extreme Racers are really good.
They also made
they did Maximum Chase.
Yeah.
Genki's, for Xbox. A game I need to sit down and play.
I need to find this because this is This is exactly the kind of shit I would play because I love
this is a 3D
racers.
This is I'll say Maximum Chase could be a 3D owned game. For real.
Majesco, that makes it even better.
I know. Japan, Microsoft published it in Japan.
Microsoft was like, we don't have faith in this in America, but Japan,
absolutely. So, a company known for their like a company known for their racing games. Apparently, they're rebooting Tokyo Extreme Racer, or they did this year on the PC and PS5.
Oh yeah,
didn't even know about it, and people were just like, "Oh, cool."
Oh,
just bring back Midnight Club or Project Gotham Racing. God damn it!
They made Katamari Forever.
Is that the PS3?
The PS3 one, yeah.
Okay,
that's funny.
I find it weird they made that.
Yeah, same here. I saw that. I'm like, what?
Why?
I personally,
what was Bamco too fucking busy?
Bamco doesn't care enough. By that point, they were like,
they still cared in the PS3 era.
They did Beautiful Katamari, and it was fine. I guess they were like,
well, that was going to be the PS3 one as well, but they were like, the cell processor's stupid.
Yeah, Genkai, you do it. We don't want to.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I think personally, Genkai. Oh, they made Jade Cocoon too.
Thank God.
Jade Cocoon.
Yeah,
that's that other game they made that I remember. I'm still gonna say I think they peaked with Tokyo Extreme Racer 2. So
I feel like they peaked with Maximum Chase. I don't know about you.
I do need to play that. But no, Tokyo Extreme Racer 2 was one of those Dreamcast racers where I'm like, why is this as good as it is? Like,
it's very good. It holds up really well. I would pull out my Dreamcast version, but I have a bit of a mess behind me, video and audio listeners.
How much did you pay for that?
No, not that bad. It was actually on sale.
Okay, it's
I paid like $170. I think I paid like $170 for it.
Okay, and it's gone up since because I thought the $90 I paid was a lot.
Well, I didn't get one of those weird like gamer chair things, so yeah, but I bought a new chair because the chair I'm sitting on fucking is dying on me. So, my back hurts, but I'll deal.
Fair enough.
So they're known for making a bunch of vehicle games.
They make a lot of weird shit.
Yeah, so in the 3DO era, they were like, you know what? We're known for making weird shit. Let's make a plain ass helicopter game.
And you know what the best part is? This game's not even listed on their Wikipedia page. That's how much
That's crazy.
they cared about this one.
Yeah. So this was published by Panasonic over here and Pack-In Video over in Japan, which I think Pack-In Video did publish quite a bit of 3DO stuff in Japan.
They did a Moon Cradle.
Moon Cradle?
Burning Soldiers one they did. We haven't covered
Burning
yet.
Soldiers.
Oh, that's another Genki game. Okay, we'll get to that eventually.
Burning Soldiers on the list. Don't you worry.
Actually, they only did like 3 3DO games.
Well, they've done some stuff though.
Yeah, they did a lot of Super Famicom and stuff. They're a Japanese publisher for the most part.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, this is it's a 3D helicopter game. It's weird playing this after, say, many moons ago when we played Return to Fire, which isn't just helicopters. There's other vehicles, but I think that was the main selling point, to be sort of a sort of continuation of the idea of like Desert Strike and all that kind of stuff, right? And I think Scramble Cobra is trying to be sort of that like first person version of it, like Shockwave in a way. I think it's like similar to that. And yeah, like it's as plain as can be. It has some pretty decent FMV footage of a helicopter.
It does, and like the most 80s-tastic guitar intro.
Oh, yes. I expected Power Rangers to come on at some point.
Did you also think like 90s like educational video you'd watch in high school? That's like so
like the
behind.
VHS your history teacher pulls out to be like, you want to look at some cool shit?
He's like, we're gonna learn about like World War II.
We're gonna learn about Vietnam.
Here's this video, and it's just fucking 80s guitar, and then that voice, like the voiceover, that just screamed like educational video to me for some reason.
Your mission is to defend the 8 buildings from being blown up by enemy forces. And they filmed footage of a guy, like, you know, like a Sergeant Slaughter lookalike, but at no point does he actually talk to you. It's all just like weird slow down footage of him like holding his weird, like, I don't know, like dominatrix whip thing. I don't know what those fucking things are called, you know, where they're like the long sticks and then they have the little like leather wraparound at the top.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are called. They probably have a name to them. And he has his beret and sometimes they tried to time where the voiceover and him are like talking at the same time, but they never quite sync it up right. You know, so it's like, why is this guy here? I do love when you die, like the little game over is like they have his head looking at you like real like mean and, you know, down at you, but then the rest of his body is like a 2D sprite.
Yeah. But then the voiceover is like, do you need help? And it's like all like trying to be nice.
Yeah. We're trapped. We need help, you know? And yeah, like it's very just like vanilla. Like there's very little window dressing, you know, like the maps are incredibly flat and plain.
They all look pretty much the same.
The enemies are about what you expect. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff of like, you know, oh, defend this convoy, defend these buildings, go blow up these things, go blow up those things.
Can we talk about the Shakespearean plot?
Please.
So according
this
to
is a merchant in Venice, right?
I don't know. All I know is according to Wikipedia and like at the few places I've looked, the plot of the game is it is about the invasion of K by the Empire of R. What the fuck does that mean? Like
the invasion of Korea by the Empire Russia?
I don't think they thought that deeply, to be perfectly honest.
I feel like Army Men has a deeper plot.
It does. Also, this game is hilarious in the fact it is 10 missions long.
Yes.
But each mission is restricted to 8 minutes.
So you could beat the game about an hour.
Yeah. Like this
game. If you know what you're doing. I mean, I died a couple times.
I made it like 5 missions in and I was like, I've played enough.
Yeah, kind of about the same. Though I got to be honest, though. I did like this game.
It functions. I just got bored.
Yeah, like I think it controls decently well. Like I picked control scheme B, which to me made the most sense, which is use the D-pad up to go forward and back, and
Yeah.
then your left and rights are like L and R are like your weird tilts, but then L and R like kind of turns you. Or no, L and R are like the tilts, but left and right on the D-pad turn you is what I mean to say. And that felt just about fine. And then like the easy thing is just get everything into your targeting computer, shoot a homing missile at it. You have 50 million every level.
Yeah.
And you blow everything up and you're good. Pretty much.
Yeah, if
though
you're
I will,
dedicated, it's pretty easy.
oh yeah. Though the first mission I did fail because I like scouted really far ahead, thinking, oh, I'll be smart and go ahead and take care of everything. And then they're like, oh, you didn't defend us. We're all dead now. And I'm like, God damn it. Fucking shitheads. But once I figured that out and just kind of rolled with it, yeah, like I weirdly enjoyed it. Like it controls well. It doesn't control bad. It runs very smooth. Like, yeah, the graphics and music and all that are very uninspired. But like the core of the game, I thought was pretty good.
It's weird to me that it feels like they put all their... Actually, this is just kind of a Genki thing in general from the games I've played by them. It feels like they put all their money into making a nice, like, consistent product that functions, but then they ran out of budget. And then they were kind of like, fuck.
Yeah. That they put their effort into the gameplay. So then when it comes time to throw those art assets on, they're like, time. What time we have? 15 minutes. Shit. It's just desert, mountains, tanks.
It's like they put all the effort into making it function and like have like a solid like core like skeleton to work with, and then they were like, we don't have any money to put meat on the bones. Like, what do we do now?
It's like eating a pretty decent steak, but with no sides.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's a pretty good steak, but like, I need something like some veggies or something just to give it that little extra flavor to it, or at least give me a drink.
Or it's
not like, water. Like, give me a drink, dog.
It's the best burger you ever had, but it's just straight up the burger on some bread. That's it.
Maybe cheese.
Yeah, and even that's asking for.
I mean, the cheese is in the guy they chose to film. Because I was thinking about those FMV segments. I'm like, did they just rent a helicopter?
Either that or they found stock footage.
I mean, it looks too good to be stock footage.
Yeah.
Like, it's surprisingly good quality.
Because it's all the same helicopter. It's a...
oh, yeah. What's the helicopter, Bill?
A Bell AH-1 Cobra.
Yeah. Whatever that means.
And it's an attack helicopter that was primarily used in Vietnam.
I believe that. It looks very nom to me.
Yeah. Actually, I think I might have a model of one chilling back on one of my shelves back there.
That's funny. So, yeah, but and there's like that little training mission, and there's really not a lot to say because it doesn't give you a lot to work with. You play the game. It likes to talk at you.
It really does.
And then there's that supply truck that like I could never like properly sit under to fuel. I would always just go back and forth.
Oh, I shot that the first time.
We have a supply chopper whenever you're ready.
I thought
supply truck.
I thought it was an enemy the first time I shot it, and I was like, "What do I do?"
Oh no. Yeah, and there's like a little map in the center, which is just plain as hell. Like it feels like this game is part of that line of like Desert Strike and all that kind of stuff. But they're like, oh, for like 3D first person, it'll be more immersive and advanced. And it's like, I mean, it's okay, but it's clear that like helicopter games, the few that exist after this, just were third person.
Yeah.
You want to see the copter, man.
Yeah, kind of, because at that point, it's just a fucking space shooter or a flight combat game.
Yeah, like it's not different than like Shockwave 2. But it's not as good as Shockwave 2.
Now, Shockwave 2...
It doesn't have the same production value.
And Shockwave 2 has something to it. Like, this is a...
Well, it helps it has the sci-fi background and kind of go for it. whereas this sticking to something sort of like realistic, its biggest crime is that it doesn't have like a visual aesthetic to it.
No, like
Like
the HUD.
it feels like it has the HUD of like a training sim.
Yeah, and it takes up most of the screen. Like the actual gameplay window is kind of small.
Yeah, but it does allow for the game to run smooth. But
No,
like
it does.
if we compare this to say like a Blade Force, doesn't hold a candle to Blade Force.
No, Blade Force is one of those games that we really do need to revisit at some point because it is.
Oh yeah,
that is a very interesting game that
Oh,
actually uses 3D.
oh yeah, for sure. Really cool game. But I will say I did like Scramble Cobra because
it's perfectly functioning.
There's nothing about it that was bad in any sense.
Its biggest crime is it's boring.
Yeah, it's like getting a scoop of vanilla ice cream out of like those Briar like frozen things, like not the French vanilla, the vanilla. And you're just like, it's fine, whatever. But it works. It does the thing. But I could imagine getting this as a kid, playing it, and then just being like, that's it.
Yeah, the general reviews kind of highlight that. Like, they were pretty mid on this game overall. Like, I think one review I see here is, you have an overall experience that isn't even bad enough to be painful. It's just dull.
I mean, yeah, dull. Like, it's not bad in any sense, but yeah, dull for sure.
And then retro video gamer with no spaces.
Who the fuck is that? Probably some shithead.
Oh, there's a citation.
Let's see.
The fuck?
Oh god, it's a blog. What is a blog from 20? This is a blog you'd write in 2004.
Who added a blog? There must have been not much to add.
There really isn't. No.
Ew. I hate this. They called the game boring and shallow, which boring, I agree. Shallow, though, I mean, it functions.
Let's see. At the very bottom, he says, Scramble Cobra should, by all measures, be a fun, if not exactly stretching title to play, much like Thunderhawk was on the Sega Mega CD. European. However, poor presentation, weak graphics and sound, great/terrible music, and boring, frustrating gameplay destroy any hope of that.
Terrible music.
Yeah, it's very bad. This is a joyless game whose brevity should actually be a good thing, yet just makes the game you do play feel all the more pointless. Again, I feel like people are being too harsh on it. Maybe it's just me. I'm like, yeah, it's not a great game by any means, but like, compared to the shit we've played on this show, the fact we got kind of a boring middle of the road game was kind of a nice surprise.
I think it's also the year this came out, because 95 was a pretty stacked year in gaming.
Yeah. And this motherfucker gave Escape from Monster Manor a 5 out of 10. This guy don't know shit.
No, he's probably not a 3DO fan.
He's just like, this is an average launch game. Like, fuck you.
I'm looking at the reviews. They're very much in the middle. I think like the highest review I see is GamePro gave it a 14 out of 20. Some of these ratings are hilarious. EGM gave it a 19.5 out of 40.
Where do these people come up with this stuff?
Yeah, it's pretty all over the place. Let me see if Moby Games has any other reviews.
I feel like some of them try to copy Famitsu. Because, Famitsu has the 4D scale, but how that works is they have 4 people give it a rating out of 10, and then they just combine them together. And it's like, okay, I understand where that comes from.
Fun Generation gave it a 70. The fuck is Fun Generation?
I mean, they're all about having fun, and they had some fun. I mean, I did have a little bit of fun playing it, like it wasn't like it was borderline mindless. Borderline.
If it wasn't so boring, I would have probably finished it. I got bored. I was like,
yeah. By the 4th, 5th mission, I felt like I had gotten it.
I looked up the ending and I'm like, yeah,
well, what's the ending? You save everybody?
Yeah, it's the most. It's literally like it just kind of ends, and you're like, oh. Okay.
Like, I get it.
Just like, all right.
That's funny.
Play again.
So in Moby Games 3DO ranking, they said it's number 76, which I think puts it like right near the middle of the pack. And to be fair, that's probably where I would put this game. Like if we were going to throw back up the tier list, this is either the top of the C's or the bottom of the B's.
Yeah,
it's right. It's one of the two. Which one, I can't say.
Later, we'd have to play more games and probably get back to it later. I want to play the other Genki game, the one that they released earlier, to see if that one had more budget.
Oh, for sure.
I'm curious.
We will. Don't worry.
I'm curious.
3DO game's going to go unplayed by us at this point.
Oh yeah. See, I'm curious if we play that one and we realize it's basically the same game. If that's what it ends up being, that'll probably affect my thoughts on this one in the future.
I mean, we'll see where it goes.
No, that's for sure. I'm gonna say for must play, okay, stay away. This one's a solid okay.
Oh yeah, I like one of the okayest games we've ever played on this show.
Yeah, it's literally harmless,
but it's weirdly a lovingly okay. Because again, like I don't know, I felt like a weird soft spot with this one. You know, like it feels like a little engine that could.
It's harmless, like
harmless.
Literally, like
harmless is good. Yeah.
One of the least offensive mid games I think we've ever played.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
It's like going on a date with that dweeb. It's like, he's not gonna hurt me.
Yeah,
and then you find out that he's just like a sweetheart. That you're like, I'm not gonna marry this dude, but one date was fine.
Yeah,
it's that kind of thing. So there you go. This is the harmless dweeb of video games. They call me a wordsmith.
Yeah. That's funny. All right. Yeah, this is a pretty short one for this week, for our standards anyways.
For our standards, yeah.
But yeah, I guess to wrap it up, once again, guys, thanks for joining us on the 3DO experience. You can find 3DO all the podcasting platforms. Check us out on the SuperPod Network. Awesome site with a whole bunch of different videos, blogs, podcasts, all that fun stuff. The newest Thrack Ops just came out.
Yep, Thrack Ops 15. It came out on Friday of last week. So it is out on Call of Duty Infinite Warfare with our buddy Chris from a novel consoles and stuff. We've had him on the show before. We'll probably have him back on.
One of our regulars.
Yeah, and I'm already working on episode 16, which is World War II. If all goes according to plan, that one will be available next week. But I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
Nice.
But that one's going to be out. I think this one and then probably the next one, Black Ops 4, are probably going to be out fairly quickly. Because I'm already over halfway through the campaign in World War II, and Black Ops 4 doesn't have a campaign. So I'm just going to riff when we get to that one. That's going to be a fun one. Like, I'm just going to sit here with my microphone and just talk for an hour, and that'll be the episode.
Nice.
I might not even edit it. But we'll see.
Do what I do. And speaking of collabs, guest spots, I was recently on the Anime Field Guide. I talked about Golden Boy.
I'm mad I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, if timing was better, that would have actually made a lot of sense.
Yeah, the one anime I like to talk about.
Yeah, so you can check that out. It went way longer than I thought it was going to, but it was a good time.
And then eventually, me and Alex berating you will be out. Eventually.
At the time this comes out this weekend, actually. So check that out.
Well, there you go. Yes. Me and Alex had way too much fun.
Yeah.
At your expense.
Exploring Connecticut for like 20 minutes. What were we even doing?
Talk about unicorns pooping. It was great.
That was such a chaotic episode. But anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all later.
Bye-bye.